Hello there once again, Take Up for Family. My name is Daniel Mutsunge. Today I am going to be educating you on the air-cooled generator ranges that we do here at Tech Africa. So this training is basically good for you because we are going to go through the various generator ranges and also the maintenances, how to start the machines, and also how to probably take care of your generator or how the customer can take care of the generator. I hope you are keeping on safe out there, wearing your mask, sanitizing your hands, and also maintaining social distancing. So before I start, I just want to thank you for your continuous business support as usual, and I hope this training is going to be of more benefit to you. So what we do here at Tech Africa, we do 9 ranges or 9 lines of air-cooled generators. What do I mean by saying air-cooled generators? So all these generators you're looking at, these small ranges, they are actually cooled by air when they run. So that's why we call them air-cooled generators. So on these generators, we've got 2 categories. They're the petrol generators, and they are your diesel generators. So on your petrol generators, we are looking at these 2 generators I've got here. So if you look at the coding here, the coding says it's a TPG 2500, and this coding here is written TPG 6500 E2. So the T representing Tech Africa, P representing petrol, and then the G representing generator. So it becomes Tech Africa Petrol Generator. So this generator is a 2 kVA rated output, maximum 2.5. This one is a 5 kVA rated output, which is maximum of 5.5 kVA. What do I mean by rated? So rated output means the moment I start this generator right here, right now, you're going to get an equivalency of 2000 watts or 2 kVA. And also this one, if we would start it here and load it, you would get about exactly 5 kVA or 5000 watts in conversion. But what we are trying to say here is the difference between the rated output and the maximum output is this. Rated is the actual power that you get when you start the generator at any given location. But maximum power varies according to location, and this is what we call, it varies according to altitude. So your altitude is the height above sea level, and in different places or areas that you are located, you can probably get, for example, this generator we're saying it gives you 5000 watts or 5 kVA, but if you are in Mutare or Bulawayo, you might get like 5.3 kVA out of this generator. If you are in Gwanda or Matoposi or in Bindura, Darwin, you can get about 5.4. So this is the variation in terms of maximum power. It varies according to altitude, and this also determines where you are located. So this generator, that's why we like selling it as a rated output. It gives you 5 kVA or 5000 watts. Then maximum, it gives you a maximum of 5.5, but the 5.5 can be achieved as of your various locations. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the difference between the rated power and the maximum power. So talking a bit on these 2 generators. These generators are straight, they are 4-stroke. You just pour your petrol, start the generator, and it starts running. You don't need to mix these 2 generators with any 2-stroke. You just put your straight petrol, the generator runs. And one thing that I want to tell you on these generators, this is what we call our baby generator here at Tech Africa. In case there might be a quiz one day on Facebook and you're asked, what generator do we call our baby generator here at Tech Africa? We will be referring to this generator, this TPG 2500. This one, we call it the wheelbarrow. Why? As you can see, it's got a layout just like a wheelbarrow. So the reason why we call it a wheelbarrow is because you just get it up and you start pushing it just like what you do with your home wheelbarrow. So looking at these generators, the tank capacity of this generator is 15 liters, and the tank capacity of the TPG 6500 it is 25 liters. The fuel consumption of the TPG 2500, it varies from at least 700 mils to 900 mils of petrol per hour, depending on the load that you, generator load, in terms of the gadgets that you're using at that particular moment with this generator. Then generally this one, it's between 2 to 2.5 liters of petrol per hour, also depending on the load that you are loading the generator with at that particular moment. And also looking at these generators, this generator is a pull start. What do I mean by pull start? This generator doesn't have a key area where you can start it. You have to start it using a recoil starter. So that's how the generator starts. But this TPG 2500, it is both a pull start and also a key start. So these are the two petrol generators that we have here at Tech Africa. Talking of amperage wise, this TPG 2500, it's got a maximum amperage of 8 amps. That's the maximum amperage that you can load on this generator. And also on this one, you can probably load up to 22.7 amps maximum, which also applies to the various loads that you are loading at that particular time. So generally, I think this is how I can best explain these two generator ranges that we sell here at Tech Africa. Then I just want to take you through the starting mechanisms of these generators. Ladies and gentlemen, because of the high ethanol content that we are currently using in our petrol, we urge you to make sure that you switch off these generators after they've run dry of petrol within the fuel lines, because this ethanol will end up producing sticky stuff substances that will block your carburetors. Your carburetor, the next time when you want to start your generator is not starting. There you might think that I've actually made a wrong choice on buying this generator, but basically this is just because of the ethanol content. So I am going to be running through how you will start and how you will switch off these petrol generators. So for example, this is what you call a TPG 2500. As I have said, it's a recoil started generator, or pull start in simple terms. So what you do, this is your on and off button. So for you to be able to connect the generator into circuit, you need to switch this switch to put it on. Then when you then come, you need also, this is your fuel tap. Switch on your fuel tap. Here it's now on. Your petrol is now flowing into the carburetor. Then there is a sign that is always here on this generator. This is your choke underneath here. So as the sign points this direction, it's telling you that when you're starting, you need to put your choke to where the arrow is pointing. Then once you do that, we have put the generator on. You are going to return the choke back. You return the choke back in the opposite direction of the arrow, and now your generator is running. And thereafter you check that all things are okay. You then need to switch on your breaker. Your power is now coming out from the outlet point. When you are switching off, I urge you not to just switch off your generator. Don't just switch it off here. You need to go back. You close your fuel tap. Leave your generator to run until it starts its fuel. It will switch off on its own, and then you just switch off your power button. So make sure, like what I said, is when you're switching off the generator, close off the fuel tap, let it starve out of fuel, and then it will switch off on its own. Then the next thing, you then switch off your power button. Then looking at this TPG 6500, the same procedures. You've got your fuel tap here. You need to switch it on, and there your choke arrow is saying you need to start your generator, while your choke is on this direction where the arrow is pointing. It's either you can switch on this generator case probably your battery would have run out of power, or sometimes most customers, they say my battery was stolen. You can also start this generator using the pull start mechanism. So what you do is, you've got your key here, you need to put your key on, then you need to open your fuel tap, and you also need to put your choke where the arrow is pointing. Then this is how you start it, using a recoil starter. Because of our time, you then leave the generator to also run out of fuel, clear out all the fuel lines, and then it will start haunting. After it haunts, it then switches off. That's when you come, you switch off the generator so that your battery doesn't drain, and you can remove your key. So ladies and gentlemen, these are the procedures on how to operate these generators. So these generators, they are supplied with manuals. You've got your generator manual in here, and your plugs, your generator plugs for you to put your cable, and they're also like your plug spanners to be able to remove the plugs whenever you need to clean them or to replace them. So this is generally how these two generators operate. So I'm going to also take you through the generator ranges that we do. So on the diesel generators, we've got quite a large range. We've got what you call, there is the TDE 6700, there is the TDE 6700 WE, there is what you call the 7500T, there is what you call the 6700S, 7500S, 7500, this is an open frame. This is also another 8500T. So on these generator ranges, they are found in the open frame types or the silent types. What do I mean by open frame? So open frame, it simply means the engine is exposed outside. Your engine is exposed outside. That's what you call an open frame generator. But when I'm talking about a silent generator, the engine is enclosed in a cover. So this is what you call a silent generator, and that's the difference between the open frame and the silent generators. So on these generators, I shall be talking about 220 volts or single phase, or 380 volts or three-phase generators. So first of all, what do I mean by 220 volts? 220 volts, I'm simply trying to say this generator is suitable to run your commercial or your home or domestic products that you're running, or probably I can say equipment. But at 380 volts, you'd find most of the times it's usually an industrial or agricultural generator, or it's used for those purposes. So mainly 220 volts, we are talking of your house. You want to run your fridges, you want to run your home entertainment, your lighting systems, your submersible, your bore pumps, your surface pumps, all of those things, you can probably run them off from a 220 volt generator. Whereas at 380 volts, most of the times you'd find our 380 volt generators, they end with a T at the end. So this one is written TDE 8500T. This simply means that the T, it means it's a three-phase generator, whereas the 220 volts, it's just written TDE 6700, TDE 7500S, TDE 8500S or 8500 without a T in front. So these are the two different categories of generators that we do. So I am going to be running you through the generator ranges that we do within the single phase range. We've got the TDE 6700, which is rated a 4.5 kVA, maximum 5 kVA. It's got a total amperage of 20.5 amps. We usually encourage customers to run these generators to up to about at least 80% load, so that at least you can leave a 20% safety margin in order for your generator to be operating under the normal conditions. So ladies and gentlemen, all I'm saying is, out of the 20.5 amps, you need to run that generator at about 80% load. So be in mind that will be at around at least 17 or 16 to 17 amps, leaving at least the 3.5 amps as a safety gap for you in order not to overload the unit. So from the 6700 we go on, we've got the silent type. It's called the 6700S. This also has 4.5 kVA rated output. Maximum output is 5 kVA. It's also a 220 volt generator, 20.5 amps. From then we've got the 7500, TDE 7500. This generator, it's got a rated power of 5 kVA, maximum of 5.5 kVA. So we also have this generator within the silent range. So in case you want to operate more gadgets, this generator has got a higher amperage of 24 amps, which is slightly more than the 4.5 kVAs. So we also have within the silent range, like what I said, you can find it written TDE 7500S. So these are your single phase generators that you can get. But if you're a farmer or if you're a miner, I want to introduce you to this generator, which we call the TDE 6700 WE. So this generator, it's called a 2-in-1 generator. So it is a welding machine, and at the same time it is a generator. So just by a click of a button, you can turn the generator to weld, and you can then start welding with your generator. As you can see, I've got my electrode holder and my earth clamp. Or you can put it back to the generator side. Then you are now operating this unit as a generator. So this generator is also rated 4.5 kVA maximum. It's got a maximum of 5 kVA. It's got 20.5 amps when you're using the generator side. But when you want to use the welding side, this generator has got a minimum of 50 amps and a maximum of 180 amps. So it depends on the thickness of the metal piece that you are welding. You can adjust your welding amperage for you to then weld your different metal pieces. So this generator is also a good generator to have on your farm or to have on your industrial site, because it does both weld and also produces power. But you cannot use these functions at the same time. So if you put this generator onto the generator side, you are now just getting your power to run off your gadgets. If you then put it to your welding side, you are only concentrating on welding. So please take note, you cannot use this generator on both functions at the same time. So this is a very good generator to have at your farm or at your industrial site, or even at home if you are a person who is interested in doing your DIY. Then from there, I want to run you through the 3-phase generator ranges that we do here at Tech Africa. So we've got what you call your TDE 7500T. Like what I was saying, most of the 3-phase Jennies, or all of them, they end with a T at the end. So like this one, it's a TDE, T representing Tech Africa, D representing diesel, and then E representing engine. So this is a Tech Africa diesel engine, 7500T model. This generator has got a rated output of 6 kVA, maximum of 6.3, and it's got 9.5 amps per phase. So when I talk of per phase, as I have said, this generator, it's a 3-phase. It's got 3 lines that give you power, or live power. So on the 3 lines, each line carries 9.5 amps. So you've got line 1, 9.5 amps, line 2, 9.5 amps, line 3, 9.5 amps, which then makes it a 3-phase generator. So this is the TDE 7500T. We also have this one here, which is also a TDE 8500T. This generator is a monster, bigger engine, bigger output. This is a 7.5 kVA, maximum 8.1. It does 11.36 amps per phase. So the difference between these generators is basically generally on the output. And also these generators are suitable if you are a farmer, you want to drive to run your pivots. You can either buy these two generators. It depends on the spans, the number of spans on your pivot. If your pivot is a 3-span, you can run it off 7500T. But if your pivot is a 4-span, or generally I can say a 5-span, you can run it off the 8500T. So on all these diesel generators, ladies and gentlemen, these are all electric start, except for the electric start on all of them, including the silent generators. But when it comes to the pull start mechanism, it only applies on the open frame generators. So as you can see, your silent generator is closed all around. You can only start it using a key start, but this one is open. You can start it using a key start, or you can start it using a pull start. So for example, I'm just going to show you probably how to start an open frame, so that you can at least show your customers, or you can also learn on your own on how to start this generator. So as you can see, we've got our lever here. It's on the stop side. You need to push it to run. Then once you do that, you can simply turn your key. You don't need to keep holding your key. You just start like this. Then when you switch off the engine, this this lever will automatically go on to the stop side. So ladies and gentlemen, like what I said, you don't need to continue to continuously holding the key. Just push to run. That's how you can start this generator using the key start. But now when you want to use the pull start mechanism, the first step, you first put your lever to run, then you put your key on. Then there is what you call a decompression lever on top here. If you can see, this is a decompression lever. You need to push this thing down to decompress the engine. Then you come, you hold your pull start, and you can start. There are times when this decompression lever, like for example, you can show them. You see, you're trying to press it in. It's not staying down. So what you do is you just pull slightly, this pull start, right? Then you press this down, and there you go. Your decompression lever is now down, and you can pull and start your generator. So there you go. We try again. This is how you can start a diesel generator, open frame diesel generator, with no hassles. One pull, one start, one kick, one key kick, one start, and there you can use your generator. So on the diesel silent generators, what you just need to do, it's just to please note that when you're starting these diesel generators, you don't need to look for that lever that we were putting to run, because this automatically stays on run. If you switch it on, switch it off, it stays where it is, but it automatically adjusts itself inside the generator. So as you can see, So one thing that I just also want to show you is most of these diesel generators, except the petrol range, they've got what you call an hour meter. How do you see that your generator is run for a certain amount of hours? This is going to be a bit noisier, but I'll be just showing you or pinpointing on what I'm trying to say. So this generator, as you can see, it's written, it runs on 50 hertz, and also it's a 220 volt generator. The first step I'm going to show you is the voltage, then the hertz, then the hours. So I'm starting the generator now. So as you can see, the voltage is running at about 223 volts. So when you load it, it will go on to 220. Then if you press select, it's going on to your hertz, which are your hertz. If you go on to your hours, which is H, this generator is still new. It has run for less than an hour. So this is your hour meter, and that's how you see your hours on the machine. So what we normally recommend is you, on top of the generator, you're going to see there's a supplied and serviced by sticker. We are proudly the suppliers and the service agent for these generators. So the generator is supplied by and serviced by Tech Africa, and these are the contact numbers in case the customer wants to contact us or you need to ask us on any question. Then here, these are the warranty service requirements. So your generator has to be serviced at 20 hours, and then at 70 hours, and thereafter 75 hours. So at 20 hours, what we are trying to say, your generator is still brand new, and your generator is running in, the filings are dropping inside your oil sump, and you need to drain the oil and then replace with new oil, so that at least you can be able to have a longer shelf life with this unit. So 20 hours is just changing the oil. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call the oil filter. This is what you call the oil filter. This is the oil filter for the generator. So you need to change the oil and the oil filter at 20 hours so that all the filings which have been trapped within your oil filter can also remain on the filter, and also drain the oil and then replace with a new filter and new oil. So that's what you basically do at 20 hours. Then when your generator gets to 75 hours, we recommend you to change the air filter. This is the air filter. This is the oil filter. And generally at times, you might need to change the fuel filter, but we do not recommend you to change the fuel filter regularly. Probably I can say at every 150 hours or 100 hours. I can say 100 hours. You can change your fuel filter. So generally every 75 hours, you can change your oil filter and your air filter, but every 100 hours, make sure you change your fuel filter. So these are the fuel service kits for all these generators. You are looking at the diesel generators. For the petrol, it's mainly a sponge which you can clean out and then put it back, or either you can buy it. It costs about $2 or $1.50, depending on which shop you have bought it within our agents. But generally on the diesel ranges, you can buy the filters either in your various stores, since you are also retail agents, so you sell the service kits, or you can buy the service kits here at Tech Africa. So I think generally these are some of the tips that I can give you on this training. Oil type, we encourage customers to use oil on diesel machines called 15W40. You can buy it as a diesel oil, or you can buy it as a multi-grade oil. On the petrol machines, it's either you buy a petrol 15W40 or you can buy a multi-grade 15W40. These generators, they take different liters of oil. Generally on the petrol, this one takes approximately 600 mils of oil. The petrol one, the TPG 6500, I can say it takes about 800 mils or a liter of of oil, depending on the machine that you want to put the oil. So I'm saying TPG 2500, between 600 to 800 mils. The wheelbarrow, 1 liter to 1.1 liters of oil. That's petrol, 15W40, or petrol or multi-grade oil, 15W40. Then the diesel machines, they take between 1.3 to 1.5 liters of oil, depending on the machine as well. So this is just only a guideline. But once you are putting your oil, what you need to do is, this is your oil dipstick. This is your oil dipstick, and that's where you put your oil. So as you can see, this one is full. You must not overfill the oil up to the fullest. You only put your oil up to the maximum line, 15W40 diesel oil. So as you will be putting your oil, you need to be also dipping to check your oil level as you will be filling in the oil. So that's how you can at least gauge the amount of oil that you're putting in the generator. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm safely and happy to say this has been a very exciting training session that we have had. Look out for another training edition where Graham, our main technician, will be showing you on how to drain the oil and how to replace the oil, how to change the filters, and also how to maintain the generators. So we are also suppliers, and we also service these machines, which means we've got 100% backup spares of these machines. If you want your injectors, your injector pumps, the wheels, you want your pistons, your rings, all the components that you can find in a generator, we do sell them here at Tech Africa. We are the owners and the agents, the service agents for these units. So the spares are there, 100% available. We also offer after sales follow-ups in case you might need to contact us. I've shown you where to get our numbers. On top of the fuel tanks, you can actually get our numbers there, and then you can contact us. We can also further on educate you on the various needs that you would want. So lastly, I also want to show you, in case you've got customers who come in wanting to ask for the big generators, we do the big generators as well. So like what you can see, this is a Tech Africa diesel generator, 9 kVA. It's a water-cooled generator. You can probably run this machine for at least more than 18 hours continuous, compared to these ones where I've been saying they are air-cooled. You are supposed to run these generators for at least between 4 to 6 hours continuously, and then they have to cool down, because the more they run, the more they heat. So you just need to run them for at least between 4 to 6 hours. Then on the agricultural generators, which are the 3-phase generators, you can run these for at least a maximum period of 12 to 14 hours continuously, depending on your pivot cycles or your irrigation scheduling cycles. So this is how the difference, like what I've been explaining to say, air-cooled and water-cooled. Water-cooled, the generator has got a radiator. It can run continuously for even up to 18 hours without being stopped, or even 24 hours. But on these ones, they've got a limited time to run since they are air-cooled machines. So we've got the 9 kVA silent. We sell these up to about 1,000 kVA. In case you might need a bigger generator, you can contact us as well here at Tech Africa. We can assist you on the single-phase big generators or 3-phase. So ladies and gentlemen, it was a great pleasure having you and being able to educate you on the different generator ranges that we have. It is goodbye from me. Until next time, thank you.